So a reading from Zechariah chapter 11, verses 15 to 17. Then the Lord said to me, "Take again the equipment of a foolish shepherd, for I'm going to raise up a shepherd over the land who will not care for the lost, or seek the young, or heal the injured, or feed the healthy, but will eat the meat of the choice sheep, tearing off their hooves. Woe to the worthless shepherd who deserts the flock. May the sword strike his arm and his right arm, aye, may his arm be completely withered, his right eye totally blinded." Zechariah is given a second job to do. He's told now to represent a foolish shepherd. If we remember Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." And bear in mind the footnote that appears in the NIV translation. The Hebrew words rendered fool in Proverbs and often elsewhere in the Old Testament denote a person who is morally deficient. So foolish is not someone who lacks intelligence. Rather, it is someone who does not fear God. He speaks, if you like, without thinking. He's proud and willing to accept advice because he's sure he is right. This is the type of person who set over the people when they've rejected the good shepherd. So reject the good shepherd, this is what you get. If they won't have someone God gives them for their good, then they will have someone that they deserve. And there are 6 characteristics of the foolish shepherd. First of all, he will not have compassion for the flock, for those about to be destroyed, for those getting themselves into difficulties. He will not give the young special care or attention. He will not help the hurt. He will not even help the healthy, who, let's be honest, should have been easier to care for. He will be selfish, only take care of himself. He will be cruel, going to any lengths to get what he wants. So what are these people? Well, they're called worthless. And that's a phrase often used in the Bible of idols, showing that they're incapable of doing anything. So it's saying that this foolish shepherd is valueless and he's not even able to do what a shepherd should do. And ultimately, what do? Well, they desert the flock, we read in verse 17. A phrase which I hope reminds us of Jesus' description of the hired hand in John chapter 12, verse 12. John chapter 10, verse 12. The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. And what's going to happen to this worthless shepherd? Well, God's justice will match the crime. He will have his arm cut off and be blinded. His arm represents power. So they'll be powerless. The arm should have been used to defend the flock, but instead it's been used to exploit the flock, and now it's going to be taken off him. The eye in the Bible represents intelligence. So if like that's the ability to guard the flock and see the threats that are coming, well, that's going to be taken away. The ability to search for the lost, that's going to be taken away. Now, there's a warning here for us. Those who oppose God are not left unpunished. Rejecting the rule of the good shepherd doesn't mean having no shepherd. It means the people end up with a foolish shepherd. And for us, the ultimate message of these last 3 sessions looking at chapter 11 good shepherd, foolish shepherd. Which one do you want? It's basically saying we should trust in the good shepherd, even when times are difficult, as they are for God's people here. His rule is better than any alternative. And we can live without fear because Jesus, the Good Shepherd, cares for us. The Good Shepherd cares for the needs of the sheep, the young, the injured, and also not forgetting the healthy. And of course, Jesus is that Good Shepherd sent by God. But the Jews of Jesus' time, they rejected the Good Shepherd, and destruction came, as Zechariah warns. All of us have to make that choice about the shepherd. Which one do you want? The good one, who cares? Or the foolish one, who just looks after themselves? You choose. But you'll have to accept the consequences of that decision. So learn from the lessons of the people of Israel. Learn from the lessons of 586 BC and AD 70. God does what he says he's going to do. You have a choice. You make that choice. But be prepared to live with the consequences.